Hello again everybody, I hope you're all keeping well. I've not been very well for the last few days, so I've not really been down to the allotment much this week. I'm going to try and get a video done for you guys today though, an update video. Hopefully do a tour for those of you who are new to the channel, and an update for those of you who watch my videos every single week. I apologise if I don't sound great in this video. My throat's still a little bit croaky, but I'll try my best to make as much sense as I can. So the weather has improved quite a bit now. It's much warmer. Things do seem to be growing much quicker now, which is good. There are a few problems still, and a few things are still a little bit slow, but it looks like there's some things coming into harvest now. So I'm going to try and do some harvesting today as well. And whilst on the topic of harvests, we all know how much of a glut we can end up with as home gardeners, especially with things like courgettes. You know, sometimes we can end up with so many courgettes we don't even know what to do with them. But thankfully there's a solution to this. Sprout Connections, which is a platform aimed at helping home gardeners sell their extra produce to local consumers. So everybody benefits from this. Local consumers get fresh organic produce at a fair price, and you as the home gardener get to sell your extra produce. It's not going to go to waste, and you're receiving a little bit of extra money to buy seeds, compost, whatever you want to buy for next year, which is really good because we all know how expensive seeds and compost are getting at the moment. It's super simple to set up your account and start listing your vegetables to sell to local people. I'll leave a link in the description below. Set up your account today, start listing some vegetables if you've got a glut. Make a little bit of extra money from your extra produce to buy seeds and compost for next year. It's a win-win. Big thank you to Sprout Connections for sponsoring this video. So with all that being said, let's get right into the July allotment tour and update. I hope you all enjoy. Okay, yeah, so here's the new plot which we may be taking on. We'll find out in the next few weeks, hopefully. A few of you did ask some questions in that last video where I asked you guys what you think. One question was about the weeds. Yes, this is Himalayan balsam. As you can see there by the pink flowers, very distinct pink flowers of the Himalayan balsam. Very invasive plant, a lot of that on our site as well. I get a lot of these seedlings popping up all over my plot as well. We'll have to get rid of these before they set seed. The seed pods explode and send seeds flying everywhere, so they can be quite problematic. As well as that, there's stuff like, of course, there's nettles, there's bindweed, there's mare's tail. And thankfully there's no brambles or anything like that, so it should be easy to pull a lot of these out. It's all like your annual weeds really, besides the bindweed and the mare's tail. So yeah. A few people asked about orientation as well, how it's orientated with the sun. The trees here are on the west side of the plot. Thankfully not the south side. If they were behind it, like all the way down there, that would be a big no-no. Thankfully though, they're on the west side. The sun comes up over there, or down there somewhere on the east, and then comes over. It's currently there. It's now 11:30 in the morning. It's currently sat there. We're in the full sun at the moment. And then around about 2-3 o'clock, it will go behind these trees here. So yeah, I would say part shade really. The same as my plot, to be honest. It gets a good few hours of full sun per day. So for those of you who are new to the channel, this is my allotment which I've had for 5 years now. I've counted around 32 beds cultivated, and around 12 of those are raised beds. The allotment has a 6x6 foot greenhouse, a 8x10 foot greenhouse, a 3x6 metre polytunnel, and a 3x4 metre polytunnel at the time of recording. So plenty of space to grow lots and lots of veggies. And this is my happy place. This is where I come to unwind. This is my hobby, my passion. Now the onions haven't done great this year at all. They're well behind. I suppose they are starting to swell now, and they are growing. There's no signs of any mildew yet, which is good, because that means we've got more time here for these to grow. I think these will give us some harvest, you know, maybe in another month or so, which is way later than I'd usually harvest them. But these ones don't look too bad at all, really. all grown from seed as well. Let's go over to the other 2 beds with the seed grown onions. I've had a good de-weeding session here. Look, I've got these buckets full of weeds. I need to chuck them in the compost. These are the ones in the other beds. Quite a difference, isn't there? These are way behind the other ones. Look at that. You know what, I may as well just pull these up and use them as spring onions now. There's no point really. I mean, look at these ones. That's quite pathetic really. There's no point leaving them in there now. The ones in the other bed at the front, I suppose they're a little bit better than them ones, but they're still not that great. We may get something from these. Yeah, not a great year for onions. The leeks right next to them, they're looking really good actually. They're looking quite good. There is some signs of rust on there though. Isn't that annoying? There's some rust on there. It's not severe though. We'll just pick those off. These will hopefully give us some harvests during the winter, hopefully. Second lot of leeks are in here. I had some more left over, same batch as the other ones over there, but of course they were in this mushroom tray. I've thrown these in here. The peas were in here last. I've just removed them and chucked these leeks in, and hopefully these will grow through the winter happily as well. We also de-weeded the strawberry cage as well. Now I've got a new plan with this strawberry cage, and that is I'm going to remove all these plants because they're all ruined, to be honest. They're not very healthy at all. We've lost half of them because the soil underneath here is too wet. So I've had a good de-weeding session in here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the fabric, remove the plants, maybe replant some of them because, you know, some of them are okay. I will remove the soil which is in here because I have added compost and soil in here as well to add some height. It's still too much, too waterlogged. I'm going to remove some of the soil, put them in the buckets, in these buckets. I've figured out I can probably fit around, how many? I've worked out I can fit around 24 of these 30-litre buckets in here. And still allow room for me to move around them if I set them out in a certain way. So I'll remove the soil from under here, or some of it, mix it in with these 30-litre buckets with some topsoil and compost and things like that. I'll make the soil in the buckets nice, perfect for strawberries, but it's going to be the drainage more than anything really. It's the drainage that I'm most concerned about. I'm going to plant them all in these buckets, and yeah. I'm going to remove this annoying wooden door. I'm going to build that into something else, use it for something else, and I'm just going to stick green netting over here. So all I have to do is remove the green netting, stand in there and just go around and pick the strawberries in the buckets. I think that'll be much easier than doing it this way. Yeah, so that's my plan for next year, but I'm trying to get hold of more strawberry runners because we've lost a lot of our strawberry plants this year, and we've not really got many runners. So yeah, I'm going to be taking a lot of donations off neighbours with runners. Now I'm a little bit concerned about the sweet corn. Growth wise, they look amazing. Look at these are really good. About where I'd expect them to be for this time of year actually, which is really surprising because everything was so slow growth wise through May and June, but they seem to have really picked up now. They are starting to send these tassels up here, which will bear the pollen, and what will happen is the pollen will fall off the tassels and will pollinate the ears of corn below. And talking of ears of corn, there isn't anything. There are no ears of corn in sight. Well, there is some signs there. They do appear here in, I suppose you could call it the armpit of the plant, between the leaf and the stem. That's where they appear, but they are very, very small. I'm hoping that they do develop quickly. I think they will. There's a few more there, look. A few more signs there that they're starting to develop. But for the last couple of years, we've had issues where the pollen appears and there's no ears of corn below. And obviously we don't end up with any pollinated corn. The variety is called Incredible, by the way. I know a subscriber, I think Pete Trenmus, he commented, and I think it was him who commented saying that they've had problems with the same variety not producing corn. So we'll see how these develop over the coming weeks. They're not all the same size either, so look at these. These ones are much smaller than ones up here, so they're all going to be maturing at different rates here, I think. So that might cause problem with pollination, but we'll see. Now here are the cabbages, and I've been watching these very closely for the last couple of weeks because look, they are hearting up now. Look at that. They are looking really good, and I'm really tempted to harvest these, but I'm going to have to wait a bit longer. They're not quite there yet. I have put some slug pellets in here. I hold my hand up to that because the slugs were all over these. Look at the slug damage there. I have removed the older slug damaged leaves from the outside there. Hopefully that provides the slugs with less of a place to hide as well. And yeah, hopefully we end up with some nice cabbages with no slug damage in the hearts, because there's nothing worse than cutting into a cabbage to find slugs and slug poo and all the nasty things. It's not what we want, is it? Okay, it looks like I'm going to be harvesting the first beetroot of the season. That is definitely a good size for picking now, so let's pick it. Lovely. That is a decent size beetroot, so lovely stuff. Excellent. There's one, I suppose. That one was bolting though, so yeah, I think we had to pick that one while we could. Okay, so there's our very small harvest of beetroot. Not too bad for a first harvest. I think a couple of them bolted though, so they may be a little bit tough inside. But yeah, not too bad for a first harvest. There is a lot more beetroot in here. They're all very small at the moment though. Okay, let's have a look in this small polytunnel. Things are looking quite green in here at the moment, so that's good. I'm drawn to the butternut squash plants here. These are going bonkers at the moment. I never usually have much luck with butternut squashes, but then again, I always grow them outside usually. Yeah, look at that, wow. Yeah, I need to string that back up again. But yeah, there are plenty of little fruits appearing on here. Just hope they don't drop off. You end up with a lot of these forming and then flowering and being pollinated, and then they just go yellow and fall off. That happens a lot with me. But yeah, they're all trailing everywhere as well. So I need to try and string these back up again. They're going bonkers. I've got a honeymoon tomato plant here, which has a few nice fruits on. This is alright. They've definitely grown since last week. They're growing quite quick now. Yep. This is a really nice variety, by the way, blight resistant as well. A kind allotment neighbour gave me this watermelon plant. Not too sure what the variety is, whether it's like a melon or a watermelon. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we've got that there. We lost our other watermelons. We've got loads of these determinate varieties of tomato here going bonkers as well, full of flowers. Not too much in the way of fruit though. Yeah, there's not much in the way of fruit. This variety is Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is the variety of that. The Physalis is going crazy as well. They're doing really well, nice and bushy. The aubergines are looking alright there. There's a few starting to form. A rogue tomato plant here, probably just from last year's seeds. Yeah, there's a few aubergines starting to form on these plants now, so that's not too bad. A few of them do have this grey rot, grey mould, whatever you call it. and it's my first time growing sweet potatoes this year, and we have some along here which are just going crazy at the moment, and then we have some more in buckets here. Not too sure how much we'll get from these. Anything we get from them will be a bonus, but the plants themselves seem to be doing really well at the moment, these sweet potatoes, so I'm quite happy with those, I think. Really quite frustrated with the peppers in here, to be honest. There's loads of decent sized ones, like look at that, but one decent sized one ended up rotting because a slug had eaten the side of it, and it just all the moisture got in there and it rotted away. So that is a real pain. Look at that, what a bummer. Look at that, it's just falling off the plant. There's a few, I suppose there's like a tiny one left on there, but what a pain that is. I'm really gutted about that. Really gutted. There's been a few more like this that have fallen off. I should probably chuck them in the compost actually. I'm not going to leave them here. That'll just attract more slugs. We'll stick them in the compost. What a pain. Really annoying. Loads of good fruits on there as well, but I fear that they're going to suffer the same fate as that one, because you know they do have some nibbles on them. Look at that. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, guys? The slugs, if the slugs nibble a small hole in them, all the bacteria and the moisture gets inside, and then that's it. There's another hole in that one. There's another hole in the one next to it. Look at that. They won't stop at anything, these slugs. Look, another one there, look. Another hole in that one. Another hole in that one there. And pretty much most of them have holes in, which, oh my gosh. This is just ridiculous. I'm not too sure why they've been so bad. Because, you know, I've taken steps to avoid this. Another one there. There's actually a slug in that, or something in there. There's actually, caught in the act. Ah, right, okay. Okay, right, it all makes sense now. Right. Okay, that's what's responsible. It's the caterpillars. Or some sort of fruit worm or something. That is what's responsible for the holes in the peppers, not the slugs. Okay, right, that's interesting. That's an interesting development. What do we do about that, guys? I've never really had that issue before, but clearly we need to sort that out because we can't be having that. We're going to carry on. Our parsnips in this raised bed are looking really well at the moment. Looking really healthy. Good result with those. Ah, you fuck! Ah! Stinging nettles. For stinging nettles, guys. Them stinging nettles have just got me. Yeah, the parsnips looking really good at the moment. Ah, that really stings. Okay, the carrots are looking really well at the moment. These have really turned around over the last few weeks. They were really slow to get going because of the slugs. The slugs just kept eating them. But we're going to pick some carrots from in here now and see what we've got. Because the tops do look pretty decent. Let's pull this one here. See what we've got. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad, I don't think. No pest damage. Okay, right, yeah, there is some pest damage there. There's something there. Looks like there's some, probably root fly, I'd imagine there. Something going on. Not too sure how, because these are raised beds and they are netted. So, and the carrot root fly still seem to have got in there by the looks of things. Okay, let's pick another one. See if we've got any more damage from root fly or anything like that. No, that one looks okay. I'm quite keen to get these dug up now that I've seen some root fly damage. I don't want to leave them in here too long now. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that. You know what? I think carrots seem to be the hardest crop on my plot to grow. because there's just so many issues whenever I grow them. That's got some root fly damage on there, some nibbles on there. So yeah, the root fly have managed to get in here somehow. I really do not know how they've managed that, but they'll always find a blooming way in. Let's see what this one's like. Nice, not too bad. Although there is some damage there again, little spot there, root fly damage. Again, minor. Okay, this is our biggest looking carrot here, our best looking one. And seeing as there's carrot root fly damage on some of them, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to pull this one and see what we've got. I'm going to see what we've got here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ready? Whoa! Look at that. That is probably the biggest carrot I've ever grown on the allotment. I'm not joking. that is the biggest carrot I've grown here. And it's quite clean as well. I can't see any pest damage on there. We'll see when we clean it off, but they look pretty clean, I think. So this one looks like quite a funky one. Let's pull this one and see what we've got here. Oh wow, look at that. Wow. That one's definitely hit a stone or something and split into two. Wow, isn't that funny? Looks like the runner beans are starting to take off a little bit. Looking quite good. Plenty of flowers on there. There's actually some beans on there. A little bit small yet. Finally though, I mean, we've been waiting a long time for the beans to start doing something. We did have the aminopyralid problems as well. So yeah, finally they are starting to do something. Still quite a few gaps though. Planted some more of these dwarf beans in here, just threw those in there. And our other dwarf beans. Plenty of beans on there, but they're not that big yet. We've picked a few already, but I probably can't pick any today. They're still a bit small yet. So the main crop potatoes, which are actually blight resistant varieties, they've got blight on them, which is not good at all. Really bad, that actually. I'm going to have to harvest these very soon, and I feel like they're not even matured yet fully. They've only just finished flowering, so you know, we might end up with some small main crop potatoes, I don't know, but yeah, it looks like we'll be harvesting these potatoes in August at this rate. More potatoes over here. These ones don't look as bad. Different varieties. Oh, well, there again they are. There is some blight there though. Yeah, we're going to be chopping these off soon, I think, and harvesting them. But I want the potatoes to get to a bigger size before I do that, ideally. Blueberries. We've got some blueberries here. Quite a few of them, actually. Let's pick a few of those. Somebody asked me as well what I do with my blueberry bushes. And to be honest, I just plant them in ericaceous compost, feed them with like tomerite. I've got some wood shavings on the top there, which will increase the acidity of the soil as well. That's just as a mulch, really, to be honest, though. And yeah, I don't do much else, to be honest with you. I just wing it with the blueberries. It's a nice little picking of blueberries there, the first picking of the season. Okay, we're in the 8x10 foot greenhouse, and yeah, there's some really lovely tomatoes here. Picked some more of these. These are sun gold again. Growing quite a lot of sun golds this year. They're our favourite variety. Can you tell? I'm going to leave those a bit longer. They're still a little bit unripe, those ones. Pick these ones here though. That one looks like it's split. That's just watering. A few if you've got ripening tomatoes and then they dry out, if you've got ripening tomatoes and the soil dries out and then you suddenly flood them with water, you can get the fruit splitting quite easily. There's some blossom end rot on those tomatoes. These are like salad tomato. There's some blossom end rot on some of those. Quite a few of those actually. Look at that. I know why that is though. I did have this container dry out a few weeks ago and the plant was wilting really badly. That's why it's happened. I'm trying to figure out ways of growing tomatoes in containers and not having this issue. There's our little harvest of blueberries and tomatoes there. Not too bad for an early picking. Well, it's not really early, but the tomatoes are quite late this year. First picking of tomatoes, not too bad. We have got a few aubergines growing in the container growing aubergine in the greenhouse. These are looking nice. Look at that. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. There's quite a few. There's several growing nicely on here now, so that's good. I can see about 10. There's about 10 of them growing at the moment on there, so really, really good. Hopefully we can have some aubergines soon. I think that courgette's ready to pick now, so we'll pick it. That's perfect size actually. It's a perfect size for a courgette. Lovely. Lovely, lovely stuff. Finally we're actually managing to fill a harvest bucket up. Feels like it's been so long since we've done that. Another one there, another nice courgette. Yep, lovely, lovely size courgette there. I found that courgettes are getting quite expensive at the moment in the shops. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. I'm going to discard of that one. That one doesn't look too great. That one as well. That one's been nibbled on. I'll discard of that one as well. Yeah, if we continue picking these, the more we pick these, the more they'll produce. So that's today's little harvest. It's not too much, but it definitely feels good harvesting something for a change. We've not harvested much this year. It's not been a very good growing season at all. We've got some nice sweet peas here. Finally, the sweet peas are taken off. They weren't really doing anything at first, but now they're finally growing. We've got our first pickings of tomatoes there. Got a nice little picking of blueberries. We've got some nice carrots. Pretty nice actually compared to normal. I usually don't get carrots this big. I've never managed to grow them like this usually, so that's good. I've got a bit of beetroot there. Most of them are still small, so I think we will get some more in the next few weeks hopefully. And then we've got some nice sized courgettes there. There are some other things which hopefully we can harvest soon, like cabbages and maybe some more broccoli, main crop potatoes, some more lettuce, some beans as well. Hopefully we can harvest some beans soon, and we've also got some onions which hopefully will be big enough to harvest soon, and the peppers in the polytunnel. Hopefully if the caterpillars don't demolish the rest of them, we can harvest some of them soon as well. Okay, so that was a bit of a quick July tour / update. As I said before, I've not been very well this week, so I didn't want to make it too long. It does hurt to speak at the moment still, so I didn't want to do too much. But we've got a nice little harvest there. Things do seem to be doing quite well actually at the moment. The weather is much better, so I'm feeling much more positive about things at the moment. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Happy gardening and stay safe.